All right. Good morning, good peoples. Bruce with TWC, Targeted Wealth Creation, and back at ya here on Wednesday morning, ready for the markets. And Yieldmax is out. I was happy with Cony. Surprised, big time surprised by Carvana, although I probably shouldn't be. It's a first distribution. They probably didn't want to disappoint, especially when these stocks, started out at $50. Um, just a different scenario than when they were all 20. All right, so let's jump in here. Let's start off. Yellow is actual. Sorry about that. And my estimate. So I had 59. They paid 59.9. Why can't they make it 60 cents? But not for me. Actually, I'd be off a little further, but it rounds to that. But it doesn't matter. These are trying to be educated guesses. I'm not surprised at all when they go differently. I try to say that when I'm doing it. All right, Fiat. The thing to look for, we may have bottomed. It looks pre-market like crypto's up a little. The markets are pointing up today, and that's pretty relevant because off that 5700, that 5710 that we got down to, we went back, we bounced off that. I do think we could get as low as 5500 in the S&P in March with another downdraft. But let's enjoy the bounce if we're going to get the continued bounce for a while. All right, so I mean, now's not the time to run out and get fiat because the odds are 50-50 each day. There may be a little more downside, but likely a bounce. But that's good protection when people ask, or sorry, guys, when I'm saying fiat, I'm really thinking of the QQQY. So, I saw the red and, there's only what, four inverse funds. So my bad on that. That's really a Cony inverse. And as you guys know, Cony's been beat up. So when these cryptos are beat up, the inverses are good. But people always say, Bruce, should I pair them? Not really, because there's many situations where when you pair them, you're underperforming in both. What happens when a big move happens one way or the other, if it's too big a move on the upside and they don't get the spreads and especially the long calls right, the synthetic always is going to do well when there's a big move up, regardless. But they play both sides. That isn't where they get their income. They get their income from writing the spreads or the short calls. And when they sell a call short where they don't own the underlying and they do it out at 5% and the stock moves up 20%, they lose 15, even if the synthetic made 20. So they don't do so well. And that happens on the inverse, right? If you have too big a move down and you didn't bet your option strategy that you were going to move down enough, you don't do that well. That's why it's hard to have them both work. They can under certain situations, but it's like threading a needle. All right, so let me continue on. So 68 for fiat. Msfo, I had 30.5. They came out at 28.5. So reasonably close on these first ones. The yields are right here, guys. This is the current price. This is yesterday's close price. So 59 cents, almost call it 60 cents. It's a 79% yield. The yield's good. Have we close to bottom in Cony? I suspect. I see all kinds of news. Now there's political hate on Musk, so everybody's saying, let's go out and not buy Teslas, right? I mean, I think it's silliness. I don't want to get into the political things, but I mean, you have that, and also that's not Cony, guys. I know, but I'm just using it as an example. And in the Tesla company, you have a lot of other things as well. You have the robots and not I'm not talking robo taxi. I'm talking what I forgot what they call them right now, but the plant home robots. Those are progressing along pretty well. All right, so let's keep moving. Microsoft. Cony's got its own issues and it's mainly related to crypto. So it doesn't have a driver pretty much other than crypto. They have to keep those exchanges running, if you will. It's where everybody goes to buy and sell their crypto beyond just Bitcoin. All right, so MSFO 28.5 was 2 cents off. Not much of a yield, 22, but that's all right. So nice to see a bounce in the underlying. Now, what I didn't show you is this is up a little bit. It was up like 3 cents over the previous time. So Amdy maybe is bottoming. I mean, the semiconductors are hit hard, but I think AMD is a good company, and they were hit really hard. So that's probably what's happening. Netflix, always a decent payer. I had them drop down. Look at this. They paid 107. I looked at the performance of the underlying, the change from month to month, and the pricing, and I said, okay, I'm going to go with 55. They're not going to pay 107. And 55 is in line with 58 here, higher there, higher here, 51. Who could have figured that they were only going to pay 40? I mean, anybody who predicted 40 and was right, kudos. I mean, was it just a wild ass, draw something on the board, a swag? Right? Or a wag, a wild ass kid. So uh, that's interesting. I mean, I'm 15 cents up, but at least I got the direction. I didn't come out here and say it's going to be 105, right? That's craziness. And so that yield is below their current 30 days, 29. And I didn't update these since 2 or 3 days ago. All right, ABNY. They paid 48. I said 39. So those went the opposite. Airbnb. You never know with that. PP. All right. Payment systems always kind of hang in there. I'm a little surprised. I went back to the lower here. I mean, they paid $1.60, $1.10, 58, 60, 42, 66. And here they really dropped it, right? 37. So that's a 35.99 yield on a 30 IV. This one, Ulty. I know a lot of lovers Ulty. I still hold some shares because I got them so cheap. So as long as it keeps paying, my NAV might be down 10 or 15%, but I've been collecting. So I'm okay on that because I think it's leveled off. Now, if crypto keeps going down, I think it certainly could go down and visit 74, but I also could see it well back over 100, 100 to 125 to 135 sometime during the year, whether the markets go down or not. It sometimes trade like a tech with the NASDAQ, but not always. All right, guys. So Ulti, that's cool. 46.53. I had 47. So I own some Cony and I own some Ulti. Carvana, look at this one. I said 219. I said they could easily pay $3. If you'd have said to me, are they going to pay 391? I'd have said no way. But remember, this thing came out as a $50 stock. Its current price is 44.91, so it's under 45. So they don't want people to abandon these things, right? I think from what I've seen, the strategy is to pay pretty well the first payment, give it more than a benefit of the doubt, and then start to reel it in. You can't do that all the time. All right. So let's jump into YMAG and YMAX. So look at that. It's 113%. What was Ulti? Ulti is 82. Good on you, Ulti. I love this. This is all gravy for me. I've almost gotten my money back in Ulti. Working on house money, peoples. All right, you see that. I love that. 85.48 for YMAX. I had I had 21 and they came in at 24. So kudos to YMAX for paying 85% current yield. The problem there is people that bought this thing at $20, right? And it hung around for quite a bit. It's just been a NAV erosion oil candidate. It's for NAV erosion oil of the year for a big fund like this. But the markets have a lot to do with that. sadly, there's a lot of crap in Yieldmax. Everybody used to, and I same with me. I said, well, it's a diversification, right? You're not all in Misty, you're not all in Tesla, you're not all in Cony, and you're not all in Nvidia, which are super volatile, but pay really, really well. Well, now Yieldmax has got what I call junk in there, junk in the trunk. So it's not my favorite. That's actually reminds me of a video I need to do. Why not? What's better than Yieldmax? Frankly, there are a number of things. But, Yieldmax has done a good job at just paying the yield and having it as a return. What it really is a return of capital. You give me your money, I'll give you back big amounts all the time, although I'm giving you back. The actual return of capital is a very positive thing. But look at Misty this last reporting year. Um, no return of capital. Would have been nice. I had a lot of money come in that was all 100% taxable. Now they could still revise that before, but I think by now they're not going to. Why mag? 20 I had 23.15.1. I should have been able to pick that up sooner because it's all about what it paid in group B, but maybe they're not paying all of that they received. It's the only thing I can figure. I missed that one. All right, Lethargy. Again, I've been warning people. People tell me this is the best stock fund. And, I'm going to ride with this. My eyes just crossed over. I'm like, you talk about risk on steroids. That's how I see lethargy. So that's me, people. I'm not in it. I don't plan on buying it. Can it make you money? Yeah, but I saw the guys quote the same thing I was quoting when I got in Misty at $20 and it soared to 31 within a month. And, I had 35% of my capital returned on my under 21 purchase, right? So I had a huge NAV gain and I had $3 and $4, I think three, four, and three. I had like $10 back in the first three payments. So you can get all that euphoria. I've seen it a million times in the market. What typically follows that? It went on to 45 and back to 20, went back into the 40s, back under 20 yesterday or the day before. So that's the life of the volatility. Don't just assume that you're going to get 100% yield on your money the whole year and you mortgage your house to the hilt and bet the bank on it. You're not going to win that bet. All right. So Caputi, I like Caputi a little better. I had them at 33. They came in at 30, call it 31.309. 37% yield. Um, And the last two are the roundhill competitors, right? So they paid low. Q Diddy, right? Q Diddy, I like that. Q Diddy um, paid 15.8, but look what they paid last week. Now it performed better last week, but this is one where they made it. It probably deserved to get about 25 to 27 cents, and they kicked it up, right? They paid good, draw people in, and now you hit them with a hammer. You give them 15 cents. Now there's some reason for 15 cents. Maybe it'd be 19 or 20 if the markets had been performing better, or they had written their spread or their call at better strike prices, right? I mean, if they didn't see the market starting to come in, I sure did. I've been calling it for the last week or two that March was not going to be pretty. And for all that's said and done, I think we do bounce from here and go back up and retrace back some of what's dropped, but that's not the last. It's probably not the low for the month. We probably got 5,500 on the S&P still this month. Hopefully it's not worse. Hopefully this thing doesn't catch momentum and really take us down. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I don't think this is the big 35% stock market correction. But I do think it's enough to shake people up and scare people. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Due to this weighted average here of getting killed by being, this is only about a 50 percenter. I was $1.72 off this guy. I had, 1422, so that means I had an 86 rounded 86% accuracy rank, but that's a weighted accuracy. I was more like 97% most of the way through these. All right, guys. I don't think there's anything else. I just wanted to get this into your hands. I know it's still before the markets and people love getting this. I got more to make on others. All right. Again, Bruce with TWC. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Have a great one. Bye for now.